What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the first show of our new autumn 2024 season. I'm Love Coach Scott Katamas, and you are watching The Awakening World. A big hello to all of our loyal subscribers coming on in, and a big hello to all of you watching on YouTube and Facebook and Conscious Life Network and all the other broadcast partners. I want to also appreciate those of you watching the recording. Our data shows that more and more people watch the recordings, so thanks for being with us. Tonight, we have three wonderful women, all of whom are going to share tips, tools, and practices for self-realization. And we're also going to be talking about peace. In fact, we're going to be learning about an extraordinary event that's going to be happening in about 1 year that we're already building momentum for. So I'm reminded that my mentor, Marshall Rosenberg, always said, if you want to create peace in the world, start with yourself, create peace within your own consciousness, then create peace in your immediate environment with your family, your friends, the people you work and connect with. And I think that that's going to be a big part of what we're going to be talking about tonight. We're going to go to Om Shar in a moment, but I want to welcome back Iara Line is back with us. Of course, she's done some wonderful family constellation work. And she has brought her partner, who you've also seen on Global Peace Tribe shows. Welcome back, David Sophia. And a new friend that I met I guess 2 weeks ago at the International Global Peace Day event in San Francisco. She flew out from Florida. I was very impressed with her. I said, you've got to be on The Awakening World. And she said, yes. And as always, we are going to start the show with some music. And our beloved house musical artist, Om Shar, take it away, partner.
I will take it away. And tonight is Self-Realization Night. It's a brand new show title for The Awakening World. I think that it was Trish that did the self-love show. So now we're doing the self-realization show and for tonight. And so I have my self-realization wings, but plan B for the music, we have this person. Self-realization thing here. I'm just going to change my mic source and we have to get our Om on, okay? That's a clue.
Tatsavito Varenia Bargo de Vasyari Mahi Yuyonak Prachodayat Om Borbuvasvaha Tatsavito Varenia Bargo de Vasyari Mahi Tatsavito Varenia Bargo di Vasyadi Mahi Yuyonak Prachodayat Om Borbuvasvaha Tatsavito Varenia Bargo di Vasyadi Mahi Yuyonak Prachodayat Om Borbuvasvaha Tatsavito Varenia Bargo de Vasyadi Mahi Yuyonak Prachodayat Om Borbuvasvaha Tatsavito Varenia Bargo de Vasyadi Mahi Yuyonak Prachodayat Last time Om Borbuvasvaha Tatsavito Varenia Bargo de Vasyadi Mahi Yuyonak Prachodayat Bargo de Vasyadi Mahi Yuyonak Prachodayat I think we're home now.
Yes, let's give Om Mashar a big Om twinkle and appreciation. That was beautiful. What a wonderful way, as always, to start the show. Thank you, partner. And he will be back.
I'll be back.
He will be back with 2 more songs tonight. So this is a 3-song night once again. Well, I am so happy every time Yara Lang comes onto the show. And for those of you who remember her, you know that she just has an absolutely effervescent personality and she brings so much love to all that she does. But for those of you who are seeing her or meeting her for the first time, she's an entrepreneur originally from Brazil, as you're going to tell with her beautiful voice. And she's a certified family constellation and ancestral healing facilitator. And I've been so impressed with the work she's done previously on our show on that topic. She's also a life path coach, a Reiki and sound healing practitioner, a workshop leader, and a speaker for the growing consciousness learning movement. And also with us tonight, again, coming back again, is Deva Sophia. And she is partnering with Yara. We're going to learn all about their partnership. But Deva Sophia Grace is a high priestess of the way of the sacred and a master spiritual growth teacher. As a channel, she brings the divine in physical form. She's a multi-dimensional intuitive healer and seer, a trained certified Reiki master, and a whole lot more. And so these are both extraordinary women. And thank you for being with us and coming on to kick off our new season. Welcome back to the Awakening World.
Thank you, Scott. Hey, everyone. It's so nice to be back in this show, especially to talk about self-realization and how we can bring peace to the world through self-realization. I feel honored to be here. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. Such a great honor to be here. Always so fun to come back and be with you and your tribe.
Absolutely. All right, so I'm going to go right into a question for you. And, you know, whenever I think of the words self-realization, I immediately think of Paramahansa Yogananda, who founded Self-Realization Fellowship. And when I was a teenager, my favorite band was and still is the band Yes. And they did an album in 1974 that was inspired by Autobiography of a Yogi. So at age 16, I went out and I bought Autobiography of a Yogi and discovered I was living in Los Angeles, that there was this incredible temple close to me. And I started going to Lake Shrine and started going down to Encinitas for silent retreats. And self-realization became kind of my very first genuine attempt, if you will, at raising consciousness. And beloved Paramahansa Yogananda, who I just had the greatest love for. So that's what I think of always when I hear the words self-realization. I'd like to ask each of you to share, what does self-realization mean to you? And feel free, like I just did, to share a personal story around that.
Okay, I'll start then. You know, I think that the more that I dive deeper into my spiritual and self-discovery, the more that I understand how we have really been in a place throughout our lives that we really don't know who we are. We have found our way into this world through many belief systems and paradigms that have been given to us by since birth, through our parents, through our teachers, through our clergymen, through now social media, before just regular media. And we had so many things piled on us that we really didn't ever really have the chance to know who we are and to know what is real within inside of ourselves. What is our true belief system deep inside of our soul? And it's such a noisy world out there, there's so much distractions, and these distractions keep us from really knowing our own innate truth. And our innate truth is really very essential. I was going to say valuable, but it's beyond valuable. It's essential for us to really have the life that our soul sent us here to have. And I think in this time, these times that we are in now, it is like the most important thing that we could be doing is to really put aside everything on the outside and to just listen deep within and to find our own innate truth. And there's just, you know, that right now, especially in the time of AI and all these like distortions that we don't know what's true because it's so easy to manipulate things and make them sound really good. And we don't know if it's true, even if that person's actually speaking or if it was manipulated by AI. So this is why we have to go inside now and to really hear the wisdom of our heart inside of our center. You know, they say that we have three brains, right? We have the brain that we have here, we have the brain in our gut, and our most important brain is our heart. And they actually have done studies that they've measured the reaction of the heart, the brain in the heart and the brain in the head, and the brain, and at the same time they're given the same stimuli, and the brain in the heart actually reacts first. So this is actually the main brain. But we have gotten so up here and there's so much noise up here that it's time for us to really come inside and to start listening to what is here. It's a little bit.
You know, of course, what you're referencing probably is the Institute of Heart Math. And we've had Roland McCrary, who runs it now, on the show multiple times. And yeah, it's extraordinary the work that they've done. So thank you, David. That's a great start. Yara, what does self-realization mean to you?
Scott, for me, as Deva said really well, is like realizing who we truly are. Because a lot of times we think that a lot of people think they're so unempowered, that the power is on the hands of doctors, that the power is on the hands of politics, that the power is there, is out there, and the power is here. And we're such a powerful beings in all the way. We can heal ourselves. We can heal our physical body, our spiritual body, our mental body. We have superpowers, things that we have been watching like on movies, like since you're kids, a lot of those powers are real. We have those powers inside us. We just need to remember. The self-realization for me is to remember who we really are, is to remember how powerful we are and take charge of that and united make this beautiful heaven on earth that we're looking for, because we have these powers to do that. And I hope we all are having this self-realization of our superpowers. And if not, all it takes to begin with, as Deva said, is to go within, is to be in silence, is to ask also, because a lot of times we forget to ask. And ask and you shall receive. You ask and you're gonna receive guidance. You're gonna receive the answers that you have been seeking. And a lot of times we think one more time that the answer is coming from the outside, external, but they're coming from us, coming from our higher selves, because we are that powerful and we are that connected. We are the creators and co-creators of our world. And this is a little bit what I believe what self-realization is.
Yes, absolutely.
So a question for both of you. What are some tools that you use to come back to center, to come, you know, when maybe you get caught up in the drama of the world? What are some of the tools that you each use to come back to center and to increase your sense of self-realization?
Wow, this is so many things. Well, one of the things I do every single day with my clients, and I find it's extremely powerful and it's really helped me to come into a place of my own inner standing, is shamanic journey. And so this has been a very important tool for me. And if anyone would like to try a shamanic journey, they can go to my YouTube channel. I have one there and they can just try it for free, for fun. And it's what it does is it takes us deep into our subconscious mind. It lets the thinking mind go to sleep so that we're not hearing all this noise anymore, but we can come into a place of really listening to that inner voice and receiving the guidance and the wisdom of all of our multidimensional selves. You know, we call them spirit guides or angels or whatever, but they're all parts of us. And they're just multidimensional parts of us that normally we're not in contact with because of the mind is so distracted. It can only be in this one distracted area here. But when we come into this shamanic journey, We can actually access all of these different places, all of these different lives that are happening all at the same time. And we can really find a lot of wisdom there. That's where I found a lot of my wisdom, and I really connected with different lives that I have, and as priestess, as way shower, as shaman, as medicine woman, as teacher in many of my different lives. And this is how I've come to actually come to know the things. Like you said, you talk about heart math, and I only know this much about heart math. Those things were downloaded to me through my shamanic journeys. I've learned most everything I've learned is come from that. And so I really love going into that better than seated meditation. Seated meditation can be very distracting. I did a 10-day silent retreat where we set 7 hours a day in meditation. And I think I had like 5 minutes of quiet time the entire time in my head, the entire retreat. Whereas when we go into shamanic journey, the journey leads us into such a profound way that we can go into that place very easily. And it can be very useful for people who have a hard time meditating, because it has it's a different entryway into going into that deep space within the heart and within our subconscious mind, connecting with our soul and our higher self.
We'll definitely take a look at maybe pop into the chat box your YouTube channel. And we'll
Sure.
take a look at that. And yeah, I'm the world's worst meditator. So I do walking meditation. For me, walking, being in nature, being with my dog, that's kind of how I do it.
Yeah.
Yara, what are some of your tools?
I'll say tools that I use and I believe that everybody can use is go to a quiet place in nature and just breathe. Just pay attention to your breath. It's amazing what this can do for our bodies and to regulate our whole nervous system. We don't need much. Actually, we don't need much today. I have my weeks are very busy right now. I have a very, very busy life right now. And when I get out of my center, because there's so many things going on out here, today I did that. I said, okay, I need to take 5 minutes. Actually, 5 minutes became 15 minutes to go to nature. Of course, it's better if you don't have any shoes, right? So you can have the benefits of grounding. And I walk on grass, and I sat in a little bench in front of the creek and just start breathing and looking things around me and observing things and get connected with everything that is around us, but actually it's us also. It's all part of us. And it's incredible. Sometimes you just need 5 minutes and that can completely shift your day.
Absolutely.
Wow. All right, now the two of you are putting together a retreat in Sedona. We're going to talk about that periodically throughout the evening. Tell us a little bit about it. What are you going to be doing? When is it? Of course, I'll pull up the website, but tell us a little bit about what you're going to be doing.
Well, the idea, it wasn't even an idea, it was a direction, it was a directive. I get directives from Spirit, and Spirit gave me the directive to create this retreat. And then I had the directive to invite Yara to help me with it. And I lead monthly ceremonies here in Sedona for us to hold and anchor the vision of the new earth. And somebody was talking to me about creating a new earth community. And when I really sat with it and I went inside into that inner voice and I listened, what was revealed to me is that none of us are ready to create new earth yet. We're not ready to create these communities because none of us have found new earth within ourselves. And that we're still living in these old paradigms. We're still being led by different fears and different shadows, and that we really need to come into our self-mastery. And that, this is the work I've been doing over the years for myself and what I do with my clients. But Spirit really wanted me to bring this into a container that we could really hold for a substantial amount of time so that we could really sit in these self-mastery exercises and self-mastery practices, and to be able to also utilize our fellow our fellow seekers, our fellow masters, our fellow masters in training. And so that's when we came into creating this retreat with myself and Iara. It's called Journey to Self-Mastery. And it is from the November 11th. So it's 11/11 we start. And it's till the 15th in Sedona, Arizona, which is where Iara and I live. And which is a place which is truly a place that would aid in creating that journey within to find the self-mastery.
Beautiful. And Iara, what would you like to add?
It's just this retreat is very special. I'm used to the retreats also, just Deva it is also, but this is very special as Deva told, because there is a guidance to do that. I truly believe that we need that in this moment in time. Like we're born masters and we forgot that we're masters. We're born healers and a lot of us forgot that we're healers. So we're gonna have like daily extras. We're gonna have family constellation, ancestral healing, shamanic breath work, shamanic journeys also with Deva, time to just be in nature and access the things that we need to access, help on how we can access our higher selves, how we can make questions and receive the answers that we have been seeking, how to take care of our physical body, our spiritual body, mental body. Is a retreat for you. And it doesn't matter like if you're a beginner of your self-mastery journey or if you have been working your self-mastery for 30 years, there is something like for everyone. And I can say this will be the type of retreat that by the end of the retreat, you're going to go back home full of tools. You're going to go back home feeling very different. I can guarantee that there is no way to not have any type of transformation in this retreat for the best. And you can help others as well. You're going to help in yourself and have all those tools that you can share with your family, with your friends, with your community. And we can grow together in our self-mastery and bring this like worldwide to the world and create this new earth that we have been seeking, this new world that we're looking forward to see and to experience.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a particular demographic group that this is geared towards? Age range, gender?
I don't think so. I think we have all come to this planet in this time. Anyone that's living in the human body has come to do this work. And so it is really open to everyone. And it would be I'm losing the word, but it would not be right to stop anyone from coming. So it's open. I mean, I would just say for people who can understand or understand rather, maybe not for like children that are too young to understand, but right now we even have a 17-year-old coming right now, and apparently he's a mini Buddha, so I'm really excited to meet him. Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing that you don't know is that we're having our annual Global Peace Tribe retreat in Sedona in November.
No way. What day is it?
Well, and the funny thing is we're trying to figure out the dates because we're collaborating with Tangela. She's got
one of my best friends.
Yeah, I think we first met through Tangela. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, it's gonna be just around the same time. So we're trying to juggle it because originally we were going to do a certain weekend, but then I remember that Omashar is going to Peru. So we're still kind of sorting it all out. But it's interesting timing.
Maybe it could be tag team. Then we could offer that as an add-on if it was like right after the retreat. That might be something that could be like an add-on. That could be cool.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. And, for people coming all the way to Sedona, they'll do Global Peace Tribe. I'm sorting it all out. Here is where people can learn more about your wonderful retreat, Journey into Self-Mastery. Their dates are set. Our dates are not, it's up in the air, but their dates are November 11 to 15. I am going to accept your cookies.
It's We Tribe's cookies. I mean, We Travel's cookies, not mine.
There we go. But there's lots of different packages. And we're gonna come back to it a little bit later on in the show. And I've also put it into the chat box. But for those of you watching on Facebook or YouTube, come and join the Global Peace Tribe. And that way you get the links. It's much easier. There's lots of chat going on. And it's really easy. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com and register. And it's a great time to do it because our new season starts tonight. So come on in. You'll get the Zoom room links for all of our shows for the next 3 months. We're going to come back to these wonderful two women in a little bit, but we are going to go to Omashar for a second song, and then we're going to meet Jennifer McKenna. So here is beloved brother Omashar.
Oh yeah, I seem to remember the time when we all were happy and my family, we all were together singing harmonies, my sisters and brothers. I often dream that we're gathered together and we all live in this beautiful garden by a river with my favorite flowers and the trees there, I know them by name. So if you'd like a new life, here it is, here it is, here it is. If you'd like a true life, here it is, here it is, here it is. We all are born of the great sun. We all are beloved golden ones. Do you remember? You're part of the story. Do you remember that you are the glory. So if you'd like a new life, here it is, here it is, here it is. If you'd like a true life, here it is, here it is, here it is.
I love that song. I just love that song. The moment you hit that first chord and I hear the kind of organ music, it's like I get chills. And the words are so beautiful. And thank you for, it really is an invitation into an awakening world.
Yes, thank you. And I know I've said it before, but this is one of the songs that came to me 100% in a package. It just knocked on my door one night when I was sleeping. I woke up, it said, write this down now. And I did, and I unfolded it. And what came out was this beautiful garden, and of course, a beautiful garden is Mother Gaia.
Yes.
Beautiful garden is Eden. And so here we are.
And the picture behind you, of course, cherry blossoms, having just come back from Japan.
Right?
Yeah. Hey,
Thank you.
Go ahead.
No, that's it.
We always, of course, can get Omar Shah on Wednesdays and Saturdays with the Awakening World. But you could also have him right there in your home. Bring Omar Shah into your home. And the way to do that is go to his website, omarshah.com. You can learn a little bit about him. But then go to Bandcamp. Bandcamp is the most generous of the places to get music. And you can get all of his albums right there. And hopefully
this Friday is Bandcamp Friday, once a month, Bandcamp. Whatever because all the music on Bandcamp is actually by donation and theoretically, and so you can donate whatever. But this Friday, they give you a 100% of what you give once a month. Amazing.
So everybody put in your calendars this Friday, go to omarshah.bandcamp.com or go to omarshah.com and click Bandcamp. And let's all get at least one album from Omar Shah this Friday.
I know many of you already have, but you can always give them away, or they make great coffee coasters, coffee cup coasters. Well, actually, no, excuse me, I'll retract that because it's all download now.
It's all
Virtually
download, right?
CD anymore, at least in the States. Anyway, thank you, Scott.
Absolutely. Thank you, Omar Shah. Looking forward to coming back towards you. So those of you that are regulars know that we had this big event happening a couple of weeks ago on September 21st in San Francisco. It was the 40th anniversary of the International Day of Peace. And I was doing the online interviews for Hubcast Media. And I met this wonderful woman who's doing something very, very epic. And I enjoyed my interview with her. And I said, I really would love you to come be on the show. And she agreed. So this is Jennifer McKenna. And I'm really just getting to know her myself as well. But she is putting together a very, very special event, a 24-hour pause for peace, almost exactly a year from today. It's actually going to be October 4th, 2025, a worldwide concert that's going to unite hearts with music and love. Jennifer, I think you're going to want to definitely have Omar Shah as one of your musical artists.
I was thinking that. So if you saw me looking down, I was putting his information in my calendar for Friday. What incredible music. I mean, gosh, you know, we think about music and it doesn't just heal our hearts, it elevates the frequency of the earth and heals the earth. And, you know, so it's just such a beautiful experience to I don't know, to hear your music, to feel it.
It is a trip. It's us basically sounding through the vessel that is me and the other me's that are out there that do this amazing music. Because what I've noticed on TikTok and all that, there's this amazing wave of up and coming artists who are putting out conscious music. Thousands of people, not just getting off on rubbish old pop, but actually putting out really juicy music with phenomenally conscious lyrics. So if there's any way I can help and be a part of it, I'd love to pay it forward. Just we can chat another time. But thank you, Jennifer,
Absolutely.
for the.
We would love it. Absolutely.
Thank you.
It's such a gift to experience this tonight.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you.
You know, just briefly, I want to read a couple of the comments that came in. Susan Bloomquist wrote, "Music is a very good way to express peace." Ayada writes, "It's wonderful to have Om Shar's music on my computer now. I did get one of his albums on Bandcamp. A wonderful way to stay high and inspired through the week." And Deva Diva wrote, "I love that song. Touches deep in the soul." Right, Deva? I agree. And then finally, Ayada wrote, "Such a beautiful song with a mystical feeling." Yes, it's got that very mystical feeling. And Ayada continues, "I feel so blessed to be here, receiving this beauty and love in your music every week, dear Om Shar." So there we go. And Charlotte, Yara all wrote beautiful things. Carol all wrote beautiful things about your music, Om Shar. So Jennifer, take us to the beginning. In the beginning, there was Jennifer, and it was good.
Well, now you know, the big joke about this is I was born to do this. My birthday is the International Day of Peace.
September 21st.
Absolutely.
Wow. I didn't realize that when I met you, I was meeting you on your birthday.
Yes, you were.
What a
Thank you,
wonderful way
baby.
for you to have spent your 21st birthday in San Francisco.
Yes. Yes. It was a beautiful way to do it.
Well, tell us about this vision that you have and how it all came to be, and then we'll go to the website and take a look at it. But tell us the story.
Yeah, I'm tickled to death to do so. So thank you for the invitation. So I kind of started out as a volunteer when I heard about it. So my dear friend, I'm extremely humbled to say that my dear friend, Rebecca Irby, is one of the recipients of the Nobel Peace Prize in 2017. She was in Hiroshima at the time doing work and was approached by her now co-founder of Peak Institute, Steve, came to her, and they ended up creating this small but mighty team called the International Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Arms. And the intent was to help Hiroshima heal from the atrocities. So fast forward, earlier this year, a man named Mike Graber, who had a vision in 2018 about having youth performances around the world, approached her and said, "Hey, can we team up and your organization help bring this vision to life?" So she pulls me in and says, "I have no idea how to do this." And so I started volunteering. I have a long history of doing all kinds of things that allow for this, and just added to the vision. So now it is the original vision kind of on steroids. It's enormous, because if we're going to do it, we might as well just include everyone. And it's really, if you look at, instead of trying to abolish anything again, right? Instead of trying to kind of go up against what we don't like, it is about uniting everyone by celebrating our diversity. Because so many people around the world, well, actually, it's just a handful of people around the world are abusing their power and trying to divide us. And we have to take our power back. We simply must take our power back and recognize that each of us have the power to do this. We have the power to elevate the frequency of this earth through our hearts, which is the voice of our soul. And so instead of sitting silently alone, because we all had to do that during the pandemic, There is a much more joyful way to celebrate peace, and that is through music and art. And so the idea is this. We will have thousands of youth performances wrapping the globe, representing a minimum of 50% of the world's countries, which is 96 countries. We will have 2 massive commercial concerts that last 24 hours. If you remember Live Aid, it's exactly that, where you would have more well-known artists who are in the commercial concerts. Now, when I say commercial concerts, I don't mean that this is a moneymaker. This is all about purpose and intent. And so any artist that is in this is in it to help bring the world together. So some of these ensembles, the youth ensembles around the world, won't be music. It may be art performances. It may be indigenous groups that want to show us their beautiful culture through dance or other kind of movement. Whatever it is, we welcome everyone. And so we're going to have 24 streaming channels to represent each time zone. And so that everyone can tune in and see what's going on around the world. We will also have a televised broadcast of the commercial concert with interviews and stories and all kinds of things to share the beauty of what's going on around the world. So instead of trying to fight what we don't want, we are trying to welcome everyone back to their hearts, to celebrate exactly what makes each person and each culture unique and beautiful in its own right. And then we are just creating the platform to bring us all together.
Now, will you be working with Hubcast Media, who did the last one on the 21st?
We will. We will be. We're linking up as many as we can, as many people as we can. So we will be. We've got a big production team and a media team. So everyone will collaborate to figure out how to get everyone hooked in.
Beautiful. And who are some of the, do you have some of your artists lined up yet?
Well, now I can't tell you that.
You can't? Oh, okay.
Those are all, so a lot of what we're doing behind the scenes is it's in for internal use only because of a lot of commercial what should I say, contracts and things like that. And so we probably won't announce our title sponsor or our artists or our major affiliates until the beginning of 2025.
Wow. Okay. Well, we will definitely want to, as you make announcements, come back on and let us know.
Oh, yes, of course. I would love to
Bring
keep
us
you
along for sure.
Yes. Yes. And what we really want everyone to think about doing right now is becoming ambassadors to the project. And what that means is that to exercise our power is to understand that everyone we know has meaning in this life, right? So how do we reach out to everyone to say, how would you like to participate? Do you want to wait until it happens to watch it? Do you want to sign the appeal that we will be presenting to the UN on my birthday, the International Day of Peace in 2025? If there is still warfare anywhere in this world, we are going to have an appeal that we are planning for 100 million people to sign, that we present live to the UN on the International Day of Peace, calling for a ceasefire the day of the concert. That is something everyone can do, is sign that appeal. So we ask everyone to think about doing that now. Also, if you know anyone that knows anyone else who would be interested in hosting a performance in their community, if they are in the school systems or if they're part of the community network in any way, if they are a parent of a performer and they want to help put together, we are looking for massive volunteers around the world, and we call them our ambassadors, our Pause for Peace ambassadors. So anyone who thinks that they might be interested in helping with the community concerts, please reach out to me and I will put you in touch with our production team to start gathering that information and providing them with all the information of how to plug in.
Beautiful. I'm going to read some of the comments coming in. Ayada writes, I love this and totally see it the same way. It's time to let go of what we don't want or like and shift the focus to what we do want. Truly, this is the only way for humanity to progress. And Dia Therese writes, Jennifer, this is beautiful and I thank you. Also, the film Touch is a delicate treatment of healing from Hiroshima. And what's interesting is Omashar, who I'm going to bring back up, just got back from Hiroshima.
I heard you say that, and I thought, there's just magic in the air and there's synchronicity everywhere. And I see this all day, every day. And so I was tickled to death to hear you say that. And how was your trip, Omar?
There's not enough words to put it into a succinct nutshell. But it was I was deepened in ways that I did not know that a human being could be deepened. The whole trip, Japan, what an amazing society. I know it's all kind of everything's on time to the millisecond, and there's a lot of control there. But however, the respect that has been garnered and the momentum over the thousands of years is within each person. I've never been to a country where I felt so welcomed, even though I'm so white. As there, that's Japan was the 37th country I've visited, and so I have a little bit of a history in making that comment. But we went from there to Mount Fuji, and this is the Peace Goi Foundation backdrop behind me. These are the flags of the 194 countries around the world that we all projected peace on to, and then our peace pilgrims went down to Hiroshima. And it was in Hiroshima that we saw in a peace memorial museum, let's say, we saw everything that happened right from the bomb being dropped to the whole of Hiroshima being completely annihilated. We met with some of the survivors and some of the children and grandchildren of the survivors. And it took me into a place, I didn't want to go in there. I didn't want to see that. However, it did not shatter me. It just brought me home to the fact that this is never going to happen within my consciousness again. And as we share this consciousness with each other, this consciousness of peace as our natural inherent birthright will pervade the world. And, everybody on the planet, no matter who they are, is a divine spark of the divine. Some of us have strayed a long way. So anyway, in a nutshell, I was so touched and so deepened. We did 4 peace concerts there, and one of the most touching peace concerts was right by the last artifact that Hiroshima had left as a testament to their past. And there's a river there, a wide river, and thousands of bodies flowed down that river at the time of the war. I mean, it's funny, we're just talking about Hiroshima because the whole of Japan was actually annihilated, really. Literally everywhere. However, we got permission from the government to have a concert on one side of the river and a concert on the other side of the river. This is in Japan, everyone's konnichiwaing and very respectful. But so we'd have half an hour on one side of the river. And we created this, what we called a rainbow bridge, and half an hour on the other side of the river. It was just beautiful. I won't take up any more time now, but we're all on the same page here. And I guess the last thing I'll say is I saw a video by Pato and Antoinette, Pato Banton, the reggae legend, and Antoinette Root's daughter, who's also a reggae legend of her own. And they were showing us a group of young women, who were in a hostel in Africa, and on their shirts, purple shirts, it just said, "We rise by lifting others." That was it. We rise by lifting ourselves. And so if we think that we're going to get away with just lifting ourselves, we'll forget it. And that's so powerful, that statement. It's very simple, but anything that's selfish left in the corner of our dusty unconscious gets knocked out, and the joy is in connecting, like right now. So thank you for listening.
Oh, well, I love what you just said about the purple shirt, because once I came on board, there were several ideas that I added to kind of expand the strategy. And one of them was to create a new color called Peace Purple. And so if anyone has a contact with Crayola, I am on a hunt for someone at Crayola to make a Peace Purple crayon. So I put that out to everyone. But the other thing is, we will have a theme song that you will start to hear next year in our ad campaign. So that by the time the concert comes at the top of each hour, we can all sing together.
Oh, beautiful.
And light non-flammable lights so that NASA takes our picture so we can see us united.
Wow.
Yes. And
Phenomenal.
so when you said the purple shirt, I was like, yes, because
It is, and also to get a neon purple, just right rather than the regular one that really stands out, because we all know it's the color of purification and within one's psyche and soul, let's say. And so there we are. I'm going to check out now and leave you on screen, Jennifer. And bye.
Thank you for that, though. Oh my gosh, that was beautiful. And such
Ayada just wrote that she's so appreciating that you shared those experiences about your time in Japan. Grace Denise writes, "We rise as others rise. We rise together." Kathy writes, "This is the definition of synchronicity." And Deva Dia is offering to host something in Sedona in collaboration with you. So there you go. Sylvia is asking you, Jennifer, could it be linked to a worldwide Habitat for Humanity style community residence building, a radiant tree-focused community with a wide variety of species included?
Yes, the sky is the limit. Right now, I am working feverishly to get the funding to activate the core plan. But in the back of my mind, I keep thinking to include everyone, we must meet everyone where they are. And so no matter what people are doing, we just want you to link up with us, right? So if all of those activities are going, I would love to have representatives from different organizations like that to link up with us and get their groups together that day, right? The ad song is going to be so catchy. It's not going to be anything beautiful like what Omashar did, but it's going to be catchy that everyone can memorize it, right? So the inspiration for this, if any of you remember, in the early 70s, Coca-Cola did the ad campaign, "I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony." Right? Do you remember this? Right? Now, how do I know that song all these years later? Because of an ad campaign. So it will be something that I want everyone to unite. And yes, if there's a volunteer group like Habitat for Humanity, they could have a project that day. We can get them t-shirts and whatever it is that we have, the app that's going to help with their purple light, have the song. We will have whatever everyone needs to just plug in and just show our unity and to just celebrate it. See, I get teary-eyed every time I talk about it. To celebrate it in whatever way is meaningful to you, but to plug in with us so that we just see ourselves together. That is the exercise of our true power. That is showing the world that we are together and that we do love each other and that we do not have to fall prey to the abuse of just a few people's power. So yes, I love that idea. My brother also suggested dogs, right? Having a pet portion to this. And of course, I am such an enormous animal lover. So I invite all ideas, all organizations, all people. This is all inclusive.
Wow. Well, I got touched watching you get touched.
All right. Every time I talk about it.
It's beautiful.
It's a joke on our team. The executive team laughs and says, "Wait for it." I can't get through a meeting without it. I just am so touched. I'm telling you, I was born to do this. Little tidbit of trivia. One last thing. Sorry. I moved here to Florida. Oh, I do a presentation every Wednesday night, which is why I was late here a minute, to introduce people to the project. And that's how I got started. I did it just on a whim. It's a very modest presentation, but somehow it landed me the CEO position, and that was not my intention. But in the presentation, I start by saying, I was really starting down a rabbit hole of depression. I had just buried my mother and two of my best friends. Sorry, in the same year. When my kids went to college, I had to sell my house. Well, I didn't have to, well, I did, but I took care of my mother. It was the biggest privilege of my life. But I moved here kind of kicking and screaming in recovery from a sense of loss, losing a home I loved for 28 years in Atlanta, Georgia, to move back to Indiana to take care of my mother, only to bury her and two of my friends. I come down here to recover because my son goes to college an hour away. My sister-in-law's in town and I'm telling her about the initiative, and she looked it up and she says, I need to know the year that the International Day of Peace was formed. And she says, 1981. Can you believe that? And I said, no, I can't believe that. That's incredible because my address here in Florida is 1981.
No.
Yes.
Wow.
And the date, October 4th, for the concert preceded me. That date was already chosen. And it wasn't chosen because of it's the feast day of St. Francis of Assisi, but anybody who knows anything about St. Francis, his theme song is "Make Me a Channel of Your Peace." All of that happened before I came along, but at my front door, when you walk in, there's a statue of St. Francis that was my mother's that I brought with me.
Wow.
So it's magic is in the air. I was born to do this. And I welcome everyone, and I'm so grateful to be here and very humbled by the invitation. And I do invite everyone to participate in whatever way is meaningful to you.
Well, I'm imagining your mother is now an angel guiding you and supporting you from that realm. I'm going to read a few comments and then take people to your website. Sonia and Jeffrey write, we love the movie Brother, Sun, Sister, Moon, which is, of course, about St. Francis. Omoshar writes, you are destined for this, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Eleanor Joy writes, Jennifer, I appreciate your honest and beautiful tears. Kathy writes, not everyone has such beautiful guidance for their path. It's a blessing. It is a blessing to have guidance for your Dharma like this. Absolutely. Yeah. Susan Bloomquist is sending you blessings, and people are totally remembering the Coca-Cola song. So we like
yes. Thank you. I do want to say this. I got started with this originally as a volunteer I put together that presentation for one reason. And at that time, the reason was this. I know what it feels like to feel this deep grief. A lot of people are feeling very broken right now with the state of the world. And this initiative gave me my renewed sense of purpose, renewed sense of joy, a renewed sense of hope that was already inside of me, but it needed to be unleashed. Yeah. And I put together the presentation to give that gift to everyone else, because if it had that impact on me, I wanted to share that with as many people as possible.
Mm. Well, here's how people can learn much more about it. And that's by going to her website. I've put it into the chat box, but for everybody watching on Facebook and YouTube and all of our broadcast partners, it's the number 24, pauseforpeace.org. 24-hour, sorry about that, 24 hour, H-O-U-R, pauseforpeace.org. I'm going to say it one more time, the number 24, our pauseforpeace.org, a worldwide concert uniting hearts with music and love, guided by future generations. You know, one of the things that I'll want to talk to you about, Jennifer, is we've recently started a new group of young leaders for an awakening world. So I'd love to tap them in, and I'll send you some information about that. So this is the website. This is where people can learn all about what's happening and become part of it. Here's the team. There is our lovely Jennifer. And there's Rebecca that she talked about, who won the Nobel Peace Prize. Beautiful team. I love seeing that as a real cultural diversity, which is beautiful, age diversity. And what happens when we take the first step?
You're going to the appeal.
Here we go. This is where we can all, and let's all do this right now, everybody. You're all on computers because you're watching this show. So right now, while I'm doing this, let's all fill out the appeal. Hopefully I'll remember how to spell my name because I'm so excited here. And yes, I am signing up for news and updates. And, let's really all do this right now. It's important. What happens when people fill this appeal out? Who does it go to, Jennifer?
It stays with us, but in the end, the reason why we have to, we will then only hand it to United Nations. It will not be sold. It will not be distributed. It will not be used for any other purpose. The reason why we have to ask for addresses is because of fraud. They will verify addresses.
Mhm.
But other than that, it will not be used in any other way.
Beautiful. Well, one last question for you. We were talking before the show began about tonight's theme, self-mastery, and you revealed that you're a coach. You work on that. So
Yes.
same question I asked Yara and Deva. What are some of your practices for self-mastery?
I have so many.
Besides starting a worldwide concert for peace.
Yes. Okay, well, I'll tell you my daily habit, and then I'll tell you what I do when that's just not enough. My daily habit every single morning before I go to the gym, I get up and I have a cup of tea and I do oracle cards. And I sit quietly in meditation with a headset of high vibrational music. And that's just how I start every single day. And that usually helps me to get through some incredibly busy, somewhat chaotic days, with grace and ease. But then if I get triggered by an old trauma, or I get stuck in an old pattern, or something in my brain gets glitchy, I love a salt bath while I do a deeper meditation. And I really am a fan of guided meditation. So I have some favorites on YouTube, like the Psychic Soul meditation is one of my favorites. I just love her voice and her visualization. I love nature walks. I recommend it to every client I have. Get out from your computer, get out of your house and get in nature, and you will find yourself again. Dancing to my favorite music shifts my mood, but I'll tell you, one of my really big go-tos is on YouTube. If you look up the song, oh gosh, what's the theme song of the Gladiator movie? We Are Free. We Are Free. The version, so Hans Zimmer composed it, but the version with Lisa Gerrard, her lyrics, it's the ancient voices. So I read an interview from her because I was wondering what ancient voice it was, because I was certain it was like, well, that had to have been one of my past lives, because this song does something to my soul that nothing else has ever done. And I cannot help but move my body. So I will do dance to this song, and it moves my energy. It moves everything that is in the way, out of the way, so I can get back to my center. It is so powerful. So I read an article of the language. How did she come up with it? And she said she made it up. And I thought, well, she channeled it. Clearly, she clearly channeled it. But she said it, she just made it up. But anyway, it's profound for my soul personally. So those are just a handful. I told you we didn't have all day because I'd go through like 5,000 other things, but those are just a few of my favorites.
Beautiful. It's a joy to meet you, Jennifer. I really enjoyed meeting you in San Francisco, and I'm so glad you chose to be on the show. And we're going to collaborate. We're going to stay in close touch. We'll have you periodically on the show, updating us when you're allowed to make announcements. And I think we'll be able to find some wonderful ways to play with you.
I certainly hope so. I'm looking so forward to it. Thank you all so very much. And thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure. You mentioned you like meditations, and these two wonderful women that we're going to go back to are also people who lead wonderful meditations.
I was thinking that, yes.
Deva. Deva, I'm trying to find, you would put your name of the website. I couldn't find it on YouTube though. So at some point, if you just give us the link, that'd be helpful because
Yeah,
lot of-
I keep losing you guys when I like to leave the screen, so I don't want to leave. But, are you talking about my YouTube channel or my website?
your YouTube channel.
It's Oracle of the Mystic Jaguar. Oracle of the Mystic Jaguar.
Priestess and Oracle of the Mystic
You
Jaguar.
have been guided to
Whoops.
to
There you
hear
go, you found me.
Okay. All right, good. There's a lot that comes up when you put in. So there we go. I'm gonna put the exact link into
Thank
the chat
you.
box for everybody.
Yeah, and there are meditations and shamanic journeys as well as me channeling light language with my crystal bowls and for different frequencies. So I would love it for everybody to come and visit and be part of that. Thank you.
All right. Well, what do you think of Jennifer and her project?
Amazing, amazing. I definitely want to be part of that. I definitely want to catalyze with you here in Sedona. I have a very large community and I offer free, like I said, free community gatherings and ceremonies every month. So I would love to be able to offer my gift to you and to the entire collective consciousness by bringing that to Sedona and to Arizona.
I would love that. And I will fly out to see you and do whatever you need to do. I love Sedona. I haven't been there in over 20 years. And I am at your mercy. You tell me what I need, and I will literally subscribe to your YouTube channel. You may just become my new favorite go-to. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you. And we have a multitude of amazing musical talent here. So I'm sure everyone would be really love to participate in this movement that you're creating. It goes exactly what all of us are constantly bringing into reality through our own work here. So thank you for doing that.
Oh gosh, my pleasure. Thank you.
I love bringing people together. I really enjoy it. It's pretty awesome. I'm going to read a couple of comments from our audience, and this is where we've got question time. So we've got a few minutes left. So if anybody has questions for any of these three wonderful women, now is the time to put them into the chat box. Dia Therese wrote, at Namaste Village in Mexico, Friar Monk, also known as James Francis, he's been on the show many times, who just returned from Italy, is doing something special. And Dia Therese wrote that she has a 4-foot statue of St. Francis in her meditation room. So have it. Ladies, I have a question for all three of you. You know, you talked about how we sometimes get triggered and thrown off. And one of the biggest challenges is how do we manage our pain when we see what's happening in Gaza, when we see now what's happening in Asheville, when we see these just human suffering that we really have no control over. And I'm imagining all three of you are highly empathic. And I know that the vast majority of people watching this show are highly empathic. And so empathic beings, usually as sensitive as all three of you are, feel the pain of the world. How do you manage feeling the pain of the world, being in empathy, and still functioning in the 3D world?
It's so interesting, Scott, because I just made a video right before the show about that.
No way.
Exactly about that. It was a 1-minute videos in my Facebook story, but was about that. I was telling, with everything going on in the world, what can we do, right, to keep ourselves afloat? And I was telling that is, in my opinion, we will do okay, we're empathic. I think it's important for us to feel our feelings. It's not healthy to ignore when you feel sad. Ignore the sadness, or when you feel upset, to ignore that. But at the same time, to let it pass through, and knowing that we're doing a disservice if we keep holding on those feelings of sadness, of disappointment. because as we know, when we talk about family constellation, and I love the work that Jennifer is doing, United Us, because we're all connected in this morphogenetic field. We're all connected. So the well-being of one human being affects the other human being directly. There is no way to escape that. That's science. Science already proves that. So if you go to the wave of sadness, and everybody go to that wave of sadness, now let's everybody be sad. We cannot be happy. We cannot feel any happiness because the world is sad. We're doing a disservice to the other humans. We're doing disservice to our fellow human beings. So I would say the best is like, okay, feel your sadness for a while and use your toolbox. And there are so many tools to get away of the sadness and do something proactive. Do something that Jennifer is doing. Do something that Scott is doing with his show, that Dave and I is doing by offering this retreat. Donate for a nonprofit that is doing amazing things around the world to help humanity. Don't just get stuck into your sadness and depression. Get out and do something. And so the best cure for depression should go into help somebody that is suffering more than you're suffering right now. This actually can help to cure depression. So that's what I'd say. Just be proactive. Do something.
That's really right on. Absolutely. Find someone who's got it even more difficult than you. Jennifer, do you have any thoughts?
Hey, may I validate what she just said?
Yeah.
My mother, speaking of my mother so much tonight, when I was a teenager and I would go into like these depressive slumps, and she would whip open my curtains and let the sunlight in and say, get out of here and go do something for someone else. You are way too much about you right now. And it would pull me right out. Right. So it absolutely. And I am a big believer that you must feel your emotions and let them flow through you like a wave. If you don't, it will come back to haunt you in terrible ways, either mentally or physically. But I want to add to that, because I thought the way she said it was so beautiful. The other thing that I do is, if I see, because unfortunately here in South Florida, I can't go anywhere without being surrounded by homeless people.
Mm.
And that was one of my other best friends. That was her mission. And it's very difficult because I could easily spiral off my focus right now into trying to do that on her behalf. And I can't. There's only one of me. I've got a big enough project on my hands, and I can't do that. But what I can do is, every time I see an accident or something in Gaza, something on the news, a homeless person, anything, I immediately close my eyes and envision them wrapped in loving light.
Mm.
And I just hold that space. I try to do it for like a full minute before I move on to something else. Just to make sure that they've really something. And I will, while I do it, I set an intention that says, elevate this person, fill them with the love that they desire. I'll just set an intention of some sort based on what I'm seeing, but I do try really hard to do that. Now, it's not realistic to do it every single time if that's all you see all the time. So it's all about balance and going back to what Dia, is it Dia? Am I saying that right?
Deva
recommended. So anyway, that's enough. I don't need to.
Well, thank you. And I'm going to bring Dava up to hear what Dava has to say about this.
Thank you. Well, I completely agree with Yada and Jennifer. And this is why I created the New Earth ceremony, because it is so important for us to bring our focus to the collective and to hold the highest vibration. However, I have another way of looking at it. What Spirit has often shown me is that every single person on this planet right now has a divine role that we are playing to create this new paradigm, this new shift, this new awakening. And that some of us have, on a soul level, have agreed to move through difficult times, like we've seen through our whole COVID and pandemic experience and all the other Lahaina and all these different things that are happening, because this is a catalyst for us to awaken to what's really happening in the world. And unless we have these dramatic things that are happening, people are going to continue to sleep. And so there are these things that are happening that are opening up our eyes to question what's really happening, so that we can start to come together in ways like Jennifer's doing, the way I do in New Earth, and other ways, so that we can start to really come together and bring this collective consciousness, because we don't, like Jennifer said, we don't need to fight. Fighting is the old paradigm. We need to shift our vibration and raise our vibration higher, so that we can hold the true power that we have within ourselves as these actual masters, these gods and goddesses that came to this earth, so that we can create this new paradigm and to transmute these old energies that have been on this earth for so long, that have been keeping us suppressed, and that are trying to make us into these different kinds of expressions that we don't want to be. I'm trying to say this in a very gentle and easy way.
Thank you. That's all beautiful. I am going to read some of the comments that have come in. Roger writes, the way I have, it might be Roger, might be Bonnie. They kind of are one couple. The way I have to face the sadness of the world is to send it love and act as an observer, to be in the world but not of it. We are more powerful than we realize by centering in your Christ consciousness and be love. Send it out, beginning from our hearts to the rest of the body, and then project that love outward in all directions, especially towards areas of concern. We're still reading what Roger wrote. When I do this, I literally feel my hands vibrate. We as empaths are healers, and we're absolutely having power over the energies of our world, changing weather even, and lifting energies of people.
Exactly. That's the self-mastery.
Carol Simus writes, pure light, envelop them now in pure light. Eleanor Joy writes, I do a similar thing. I see the divine spark hiding deep within all. Sylvia writes, offering the Senzuru that I'm folding, crane circles, folded usually from one piece of paper, multiple cranes with the paper still attached at the wings or beak and tail. In this case, it's two pieces interconnected. Let me see if I can bring Sylvia up. Where is she? There she is. Are you able to see those? Beautiful. By the way, Sylvia made hundreds of cranes, paper cranes, that she sent to me that I took Jennifer to the International Day of Peace. I don't know if any of those made their way to you. Everybody at the table for Pathways to Peace was getting them. So thank you very much, Sylvia, for making those. It's beautiful. Thank you. Ayada writes, HeartMath is currently doing a global meditation that anyone can join at any time. The focus this week is compassion after natural disasters. Always free to participate in. Just download the free app on your phone. I'm finding this to be a great comfort. It softens and diminishes my grief, but also reminds me that there is something I can do. Sending these loving frequencies around the world is part of our evolutionary path. And I guess I'll add that that's why I always love the prayer, which came to me from Paramahansa Yogananda, of maximum grace. Just as a simple prayer, when you see a person or a situation that's struggling, ask for maximum grace for that person, maximum grace for Gaza. It's simple and it's powerful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Speaking of maximum grace, I also want to remind everybody that our beloved Davina Joy has gone through such a traumatic time. I'm going to repeat the story briefly. Davina Joy is a regular on this show. She lives in Ecuador. About a month ago, she learned that her father was deathly ill. While she got on a plane, it was very difficult flying from Ecuador to Budapest where her father was. And unfortunately, he passed away before she could get there. She then was, trying to take care of all of the funeral stuff and came down with pneumonia. And last week, her home in Ecuador, there was a wildfire that swept through. Her home went down. So I started a GoFundMe for her right away. And I want to thank all of you who have supported the GoFundMe so far. We still have a long way to go to reach our goal, but please do help Darina rebuild. It's unbelievable what she's going through. She still is in Bulgaria. Did I say Budapest? I apologize. Bulgaria. She's still in Bulgaria trying to take care of things, and now she's too ill to even fly back, and she's not sure what to fly back to because her home is gone. So it's very important for us to come together in support of her. I'll put the GoFundMe link into the chat box again. And please, whatever you can do to support, for those of you who have already supported her, thank you very, very much. Maybe even put in a little bit more again if you feel so inspired. For those of you watching on Facebook or YouTube, if you just go to GoFundMe and put in Darina Joy or help Darina Joy, it'll come right up for you. You'll find it right away. And let's just take a moment. I'm going to go to gallery view. And let's just all send in our own unique ways prayers and maximum grace to Darina Joy. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I'm going to go to each of our wonderful guests one last time to see what they might want to share in closing, and then we'll, of course, have another short song. Iara, what would you like to share as your closing thought?
So just remember how amazing we are as human beings, as human race, and how the beautiful things that we can do around the world. To remember that on a daily basis, even when you're having a hard day, put your hands in your heart, said, I'm amazing, you're amazing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your service. Be grateful and thankful for yourself, because it all starts here and then we spread to the world.
Thank you, Iara. You have such a beautiful heart.
Mm.
And Deva, what would you like for your final thought to be tonight?
I really feel like the gentleman that you just read the quote from, the comment from, I think that it was very on spot. It's about remembering the love that we are. And that is really truly the heart of the entire expression that I feel like why we came into these bodies is to remember that. And so to keep coming back into our heart is where our love is for ourselves and for the collective. And if we keep coming back here, we will continue to find our way through this to the highest expression.
Thank you so much, Deva. And a reminder, everybody, one more time, there's a wonderful opportunity to spend 4 days with Deva and Iara and other wonderful beings, probably including members of the Global Peace Tribe. And we're going to have to talk about how we can collaborate with you. So I'll reach out to you both about that. But it's November 11 through 15, a journey into self-mastery in beautiful Sedona, Arizona. What retreat center, where are you actually going to be doing it?
We're actually, it's not a retreat so much as it's a resort. It's called the Red Agave, and it's beautiful. It actually has these amazing outside of each chalet, because there are chalets, so there's individual chalets, and there's this gorgeous view right outside of the chalet of the cathedral, not cathedral, courthouse, and Bell Rock and Castle Rock. And there's trails right outside with pools and hot tubs that you can sit inside the hot tub and watch the sun go down over Bell Rock.
Wow. Bring back all my memories of Sedona.
Devin, we have a coupon code, right? For
Oh,
the
yes.
Awakening
Right.
World guests,
Yes.
right? What is it again?
Okay, so I think that we mentioned earlier that we would love to offer a gift to the Global Tribe, the Global Peace Tribe community. We're offering for today and tomorrow, if you decide to sign up, $150 off per person. And if you go to the website that Scott put in the comments, and you'll see that there's a place that you can put a code for a discount, and the code is mastery, all caps. So mastery, all caps, for $150 off per person. And again, it's going to be incredible. It's just a beautiful place, and to be amongst this really powerful, majestic Red Rock ancestors is incredible energy, and all by itself. And then to do the practices is going to be even more powerful.
Thank you very much for that generous code. And ladies, I'll be talking to you about how we can collaborate.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you today.
Thank you, everyone.
And I'm going to go to Jennifer for her final thoughts for the evening.
Well, I'm just going to go with my theme and ask you all to do whatever makes your heart sing.
That's a beautiful thing. That's very beautiful. Thank
And
you.
to please sign the appeal.
Absolutely, everybody. Please do sign the appeal. And we'll be staying in close touch with you, Jennifer. It's great to be with you.
Thank you. I want to say thank you to my co-guests, Yara and Deva, and it was such a true honor to be here among you. Thank you.
As well as for us. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jennifer. And thank you so much, Scott, Nomshara. Thank you for having us here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for all what we do over here. Like, as we're all connected, so it's going out to the world. I can't wait, Jennifer, for them to measure, just like when they have peace meditations, for them to measure things, because there are a way to measure frequencies and how the wars got diminished. And there is a way to, I'm sure it'll be incredible. I can't wait to see that. I envision that happening.
And we really believe we're creating a new trajectory for humanity by doing that.
Yes, we are. We are.
Boom, we're moving.
So excited to be
Thank
part of it. So excited. Thank you.
I want to respond to Karen's asking me about our friends in Asheville. And yes, I have many friends. And of course, we did a whole show a few weeks ago about the Interbeing Festival, which I was planning on teaching at. The festival is not going to happen. Raju and Vineet are okay. They're safe. Their property had some damage, but it's not like the whole home was washed away, but they have had significant damage. Actually, Raju is in London. She was going to fly back the day of the hurricane, and she's actually staying in London for a little while longer. Vineet and Gary Malkin just moved. Gary just moved to Asheville. Gary has been texting me back and forth today because we're going to do a show together. Gary will be doing a show with us in October 19th on the Awakening World. All of our other friends, you may or may not know them, but nobody that I know has lost their life. None of our immediate friends, but a tremendous amount of damage. And it's going to take a long time to really even ascertain the depth of the damage in Asheville. And it's going to be a long recovery. It really is equivalent to Hurricane Katrina and that the devastation that happened with that hurricane. So thank you for asking, Karen. Absolutely. Yeah. Evelina Rose is fine. Daniel and Summer are fine. Triambaka is fine. Gary Melka is fine. These are all friends of ours who live in Asheville. Again, none of them have lost their homes, but there is a lot of storm damage. Trees down, roads closed. In some areas, there's not going to be power for as much as a month. So it's pretty serious. All right. Thank you, everybody. Want to what a wonderful way to start our new season. And for those of you watching on YouTube and Facebook, come join the Global Peace Tribe. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com and register. Come and join us. And one of the great things about our Awakening World shows every week is almost sharp. Oh, I do have one more really important announcement. We are doing a Sacred Sunday show once a month, and it's this Sunday. So I'm so glad I remembered. So join us this Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time, 9:30 Pacific time, for a special edition Sacred Sunday show. And I will be coming to you along with Tangela and Charlie, even though Tangela and Charlie live in Sedona, which is where Iara and Deva are, but they are now here in my neck of the woods in Marin County for a big Enlightenment Expo happening in San Rafael. So for those of you who are in the Bay Area, come to the Enlightenment Expo this Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be a lot of fun. In fact, our show, the Saturday Night Awakening World, is going to be coming to you from the Enlightenment Expo. Look at all these people who are going to be coming on. They're all part of her Enlightenment Expo Saturday and Sunday. And our whole show Saturday night is all of these different guests. And then I'll be going back there on Sunday morning and doing a Sacred Sunday show from there. So if you're in the Bay Area, join us live. And for the rest of you, join us online. And I will send out an email with the special link for the Sacred Sunday show out to all of our subscribers. So make sure you subscribe. All right. End of announcements. Let's turn it over to Omarshar.
Mhm.
Shine a light inside, and I'll show you where your truth resides. And lift your eyes up to the skies, and I'll prove to you that nothing dies. We will rise again, and we'll make amends for what we've done. I know you hear me, so please do not fear me, 'cause I'm here to lift you, restore you to glory, and love you and hold you. Take your hands in mine, as I look at you, your spirit shines. You see, it's true that we are one, and we came out from the central sun. You hear me, so please do not fear me, 'cause I'm here to lift you, restore you to glory, and love you and hold you, and be your victory. My child, I will So when you take a different view and you dream awake, breathe out the new. The world will come alive again as we dance and sing and make new friends. I know you hear me, so please do not fear me, 'cause I'm here to lift you, restore you to glory, and love you and hold you and be your victory. My child, I will welcome you home. Welcome you home. Welcome you home. So let me shine a light inside, and I'll show you where your truth resides. Lift your eyes up to the skies, and I'll prove to you that nothing dies.
One last twinkle for our beloved Omar Shar and his wonderful music. And it's so good to see all of you moving and grooving to the music.
And what a phenomenal show, Scott. What amazing guests we had tonight. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful start to the new season. And I look forward to hopefully seeing all of you on Saturday night. A lot of soul searchers will be joining us. Maybe I'll even see some of you in person. We'll give a hug. And of course, make sure, put in your calendars right now, Sacred Sunday Show, 9:30 a.m. online, or again, come on down to San Rafael to the Enlightenment Expo. If you just go to soulsearch.io, you can get all the details about the San Rafael Enlightenment Expo. I'd love to see some of you there. Maybe George will make it down. Take care, everybody.